Okay, so let me say this. Most blockchain projects are bullshit. Complete bullshit. Most of them. I'm doing this video today because in the last 3 days, I had three separate cases of tokens trying to be sold to me or people I know. And it's funny because it's a bear market. There's not a lot of action going on in Bitcoin. The price is pretty stable. Actually, it's going down slowly, and this is not what you would expect from a bear market. Normally, these scams happen when the Bitcoin price goes up and everybody gets excited, and when people get excited, they stop thinking and they start buying whatever stuff they are thrown at. So I won't name names; it's completely unnecessary. First of all, because I don't want to get involved in lawsuits and stuff. But since the message is that most projects you're gonna hear about are bullshit, well, I don't need to name three of them. Most of them are, and I'll tell you why I think they are and how to avoid scams. We should be pretty straightforward, but it's not. So the first one, I was contacted by a girl, and she sold me. She tried to sell me these tokens, which were theoretically going to be used in some network of shops. So basically, it goes like this: you buy these tokens, then you can use them in shops, and then with these tokens you can sell to other people. So classical multi-level marketing approach. And yeah, and then you're gonna get rich, of course, and everybody's gonna be happy, and cruise ships and stuff like that. The thing is, everything was based on the blockchain. So we've been seeing this kind of sales going on forever, long before Bitcoin even was invented. The new flavor is when it's based on the blockchain. So they use these buzzwords because it works. So what's the situation of the blockchain today for the general public? They know it's something serious. It's not going away. It's been 10 years. Most people kind of, after hearing it so many times, they probably don't say anymore it's bullshit or a fraud. Oh my God, my background is so white. What happened? Anyway, I look like a guru. I should sell you a token right now, actually. So it's got some aura of credibility because it's been 10 years. Bitcoin hasn't died. Very respectable people said many times it would die, and it hasn't died. So okay, blockchain is some kind of technology here to stay. It's gonna be big. That's what some people believe. Most people kind of understand that it is not just a fad. Sorry. So and that's one thing. So they understand it. They respect it in a way. I'm sorry, I said they understand. They don't understand it, but they respect it because it's still there, and they heard good things about it, maybe. And on the other hand, they don't understand it. I would say most people still do not understand. I would say 95% of people do not understand what a blockchain is, or at least what a real blockchain is. We've passed from understanding the basic concept of blockchain, which more people understand today, but very few understand what a real blockchain is, what the open blockchain is. So you can sell them any kind of blockchain, even if it's not really an open and decentralized one. And I know that many people listening to this right now, they won't understand the difference. And I'm not gonna go too much into this. You can check out Andreas Antonopoulos' videos about open, borderless, censorship resistant, immutable, etc. blockchain. So look for a video called the 5 or the 7 pillars of the open blockchains, and you'll understand. But the thing is, people don't understand it. They don't understand it, but they know it's something serious. So psychologically, they are, when somebody gets to them and tries to sell something, they go like, oh, okay, I can't dismiss it because it's been dismissed a lot. So this guy must know something I don't know. I'm gonna assume he's gonna tell the truth. And what happens is that they use words and they use concepts which are true, okay, like the blockchain is based on trust, it's a centralized ledger, blah blah blah, but what they're actually selling to you has nothing to do with the blockchain. And there's a very easy way, if you understood what the open blockchain is, to see how much they are, how serious they are about this project. And you need to ask them to show you the blockchain. So I try to keep this simple as possible, because it doesn't want to be a technological review here. It wants to be a lesson on how to avoid being scammed. So first rule on how to avoid being scammed on blockchain is assume it's a scam, and you're gonna be right 90% of the times, probably. Okay. If you are not, again, so that's important. If you're not inside this industry, so if somebody approaches you with this new incredible blockchain, which is going to beat Bitcoin 99%. Oh, if they say it's gonna beat Bitcoin 99.99%, it is bullshit. They probably don't even know what they're talking about. Or worse, if they know they are trying to cheat you, or they've been cheated, they bought some stuff, they bought some tokens, and now they're trying to make money out of it, multi-level marketing stuff. Okay, so let me go back. Number one, assume it's a scam. And with this, you already have avoided most of them, right? Second, if it really it seems legit, a friend of yours who's very clever got in, well, and you want to know more about this, still assume it's a scam, and ask them to see the blockchain. See it. You want to see something online, which means show me on a browser your blockchain. Now, maybe I should go a different way. I should tell you all the warning signs, the red flags. Okay, they tell you something, it's a red flag. It means it's dangerous. So when they tell you the blockchain hasn't been launched yet, hasn't been built yet, so what are we talking about? It's a project. Okay. If you are talking about a better blockchain on paper, just build it. Don't go around looking for money, because it's very hard to do something better than the existing ones, and you have to prove it. Okay, I won't come to you and say give me money because I have a better idea for a better Google or a better Airbnb, right? Oh, actually, I'm doing that. I'm joking. So it has to be proven on the blockchain level, because the blockchain is the infrastructure. Okay, and there's been thousands of experiments. So far, the best ones are still the same, like Bitcoin for store of value and Ethereum for smart contracts, blah, blah, blah. There's a few of them, okay? You won't get my support, or you shouldn't get anybody's support when you say, I have this project for a better blockchain. So you come to me asking for money because you're going to build a blockchain, build it. What money you need for? You just have to develop. You have to show that, right? That's one thing. If you built it already and you have, you say you have a token, show it to me. And show it to me means show me a browser, an URL where your blockchain is. And both of the ones of the three of them, actually the three of them didn't have any blockchain running. Okay, so they couldn't show this. And if this is the case, it's a scam 100%. Okay. Third, if there is a blockchain and there is a token, and they tell you it's got a value, they have to show you an exchange. And the second one, they showed an exchange, but then if you look at it, there was an exchange. There was their own website pretending to be an exchange. And how do you know it's not a real exchange? Well, it doesn't have any other token on top of it, any other tokens. It had only their token. So just to keep it simple again, if the blockchain is already run, if the blockchain is not public run, if the supposed market activity is not public run, okay? These are people who are simply using blockchain as a buzzword, okay? Now, if they throw in the middle AI, like artificial intelligence, or big data, or data mining, or other things, or virtual reality, well, it's even better, run faster. Okay. Now, in this video, I don't want to teach you how to spot a real good project, because that requires a lot of knowledge. Okay, that's the point. You won't be able to judge a project and say that's a real one unless you have spent a lot of time studying this technology. Okay, but I want you to remember that most projects are bullshit. Okay, I'm not talking here about most cryptocurrencies are bullshit, and I would say that still the majority are not going to go anywhere, though we know that the risk is really high. But blockchain projects which really are not blockchain, that's the most dangerous one, because what they do is they take a technology which is hard to understand, and they simplify it for the masses. They actually simplified so much that they even remove the blockchain. They just keep the words, and then they go out and sell. Okay. Yeah. So just to say it again, what else can I say about this? Let me think. Yeah, well, one thing you can do, another one, if you are, let's say you are in a situation like this friend a couple of days ago, you are at this conference, everybody's really excited and is trying to sell you these tokens, it's going to change the world and blah, blah, blah. See on cryptocompare.com, for instance, if their token exists. If it does exist, it doesn't mean anything, but if it doesn't exist, it means that there's no market value, mostly, no market activity, okay? And yeah, okay, you're probably listening and saying, I will never fall for this, but we do fall for these things because it works on very basic psychological weaknesses we have as people, and they are the following, in my opinion. I'm not an expert, but I see this is always the same. Is the same pattern. So first of all, they try to give you a little bit of these coins. You pay them, I don't know, 50 euro, and you see somewhere that they have a value of 50 euro, and then tomorrow they have a value of 100, and then they have a value of 200, and then have a value of 500, and that's where you go like, oh, that's the time I'm gonna stop working, make a lot of money, go on a desert island, and my life is gonna be great. Okay, that's when you stop thinking clearly, because you are blinded and fogged by this psychological trait we all have, or almost all of us have, which is greed. To make you think that you're making money easily and fast, and because you're clever, because you have followed some very high, technical difficult project. You've been a visionary. Your friends didn't do it because they are afraid of technology, but you're clever. You went into the blockchain, and now your 50 euro is 500 euro. That's when you stop thinking. You're done. You're gonna try to put more money into it. You're gonna try to drag your friends into it, especially if there's a commission for dragging friends. Okay, that's what happens. You get completely fogged by these very quick gains, and in one of these cases, the gains the people were seeing on the computer were completely fake. There was no real money behind. They didn't even have a way to get the tokens back. They were just sitting on some screen, and the price was not a market price. It was a price written in some database, and some guy woke up in the morning and said, okay, now it's gonna be worth double than yesterday. And the other thing is the sunk cost fallacy. And this is, again, it's basic psychology. When we have spent time or money into this, like in a startup, and we see it's not working, we don't want to accept the fact that it's not working because we already spent time and money in it. So if you put 50 euro or 500 euro in one of these schemes, and it went up to 5,000, then it went down to 100, or somebody comes and tells you that's a scam, you don't want to listen. So you're blinded by two things. You're blinded by the greed, and secondly by the sunk cost fallacy. Okay, so Um, yeah, that's all basically. Yeah, thinking why is Strips not a scam? Because we did the same, right? We built some tokens, and we actually even raised money internally in the community. Why is it not a scam? Well, you see, it doesn't have the same red flags. First of all, nobody ever said you're gonna make money out of it. Actually, what I always say with Trips is this money you put, just consider it lost for the moment you put it. It's invested in a project which is a very high risk project, but you're gonna get back this money if you work with us. You won't get back the money itself, but you will get back knowledge. You're gonna learn things, and that's more valuable. Now you're gonna think, okay, well, this guy is selling fake tokens for knowledge. First of all, we don't sell the tokens. People who put money put them in a for the shares of a company. Which, by the way, we say this company, we hope it stays. It helps launch a project, and we hope the company actually is not needed anymore. So it's not even, again, it's not a speculation here. It's just to make this project happen. Most people who invested, if the project is successful, will not get the shares with a higher value, even if we don't know what the market will do. But what they get is a platform where they can save money. So if you put, let's say, 500 euro and the project is successful, you're gonna maybe save €1,000 in commissions next year. That's the big deal. But the real one, the only part which we can say I'm 100% sure you're gonna get something back, if you are part of Trips and if you do something other than just put the money, is you learn like things, basic things like in this video, but you learn about the blockchain, okay? And more importantly, you can learn and you can help even without putting any money. Money is not something needed to be part of the community. You can put money, you can put time by working with us, or you can do nothing and just come and get all these open and free material we've been building for the last 2 years basically. But the most efficient way to get something back from Trips, and Trips has to be considered for you as a platform where to do your first, take your first steps in this new ecosystem in the blockchain. The best way, the safest way, is just to come and talk to us and say, okay, guys, I would like to help, and dedicate a few hours a week or 1 hour a week or whatever, and do something with us. And in the process, you're gonna learn things. That's all. Okay. So as you can see, we are not promising. Oh yeah, another thing. When they say we build our own blockchain, the question, which may seem like, oh, these guys did their own blockchain, it's something serious. They're not gonna use or reuse a second-hand blockchain like Ethereum or Bitcoin. It sounds exactly. If somebody comes to you and says, I want to do a website, but we did our own server. We wrote our own server. Linux, yeah, no, Linux is slow, so we build our own. And you telling me that you're building something better than Linux by yourself? Why? Okay, that's one thing. And the other thing is like, but I'm getting a bit too technical here, but it's like saying, okay, we build my own server, and in the blockchain space is not like the server, is more like my own database. Okay, the real powerful blockchains are the ones which are used by most people. Every blockchain looks good when it is, and I'm paraphrasing Andreas Antonopoulos here. Every blockchain looks good when it's a small boat sitting on standing on the port, and they all look perfect. Now take them out in the high seas and see if it sinks or not. That's where you see if your theory is actually good in practice. So, and that's an important concept in the blockchain in general. There's no need for 1,000 blockchains. Actually, theoretically, at least for what we've seen so far, the best situation will be where there are a couple of blockchains, or maybe a few more, and each one has a very specific role. Like Ethereum is the blockchain which is trying to be this kind of server mega computer where you can run software, right? Bitcoin is more about, let's say, money, just to keep it simple. And if there's a blockchain like Ethereum, which have, I don't know, few thousand nodes, it is safer and better to be used rather than one with 10 nodes, because the one with 10 nodes or 100 nodes, it's going to be more efficient. Of course, there's only 100 times to, you have to replicate the data only 100 times. I'm sorry, I'm getting too technical here. And but it's not safe, it's not decentralized. Somebody can change things. So we did our own blockchain. Wow. Okay, if you did your own blockchain, your job is doing blockchains. That's what you do. And you don't have time to go out and build projects on top of it and ask for money for that. Okay. But okay, I gotta stop here. It's gonna be too long and too complicated. Just to close this video, assume every blockchain project which comes to you, and just the fact that they come to you is already a red flag. You should find a good one. The good ones do things and people find them, rather than looking for people and trying to sell stuff. Assume it's bullshit. Assume it's a scam. Ask them to see the blockchain. Ask them to see the exchange where there is real, market activity. And if they did their own blockchain, well, ask them why and see what they say. Okay, I'm stopping here. Don't get into these things. There's big opportunities in learning. That's what you should do today, in my opinion, in blockchain, learning the basics. And again, Andreas Antonopoulos, he's your guy. Bye.